Yeah, we did not do Gamescom, so we have to apologize.
Well, we didn't do a Gamescom episode, but I think we could still talk Gamescom.
Oh, fucking A, right? Does a bear shit in the woods? I mean, dude, let's just clip that right now.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah. All right. I mean, should we should we
Do we
get this?
kick it off?
Let's kick it off. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We made it to episode 30.
We really are at 30.
We're at 30 of the Geeqoid
Wow.
Podcast. We are so pumped to have you. And you know what? This marketing engine's going to be turning into high gear very soon. And you know what? There might even be a newsletter coming. So
Yeah, sometime.
buckle up, buttercups.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
Yeah, I know we promised like a dedicated Gamescom episode, but you know, stuff's been crazy. We have
It's
we have
been
lives.
crazy. We have lives.
Yeah. But we're going to talk about Gamescom today, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, quite a bit. I want to start off with a little bit of pop culture, a little bit of insider industry stuff for entertainment. You might have heard of this movie that came out on Netflix a little while ago called K-Pop Demon Hunters.
My God, have I?
So I first heard about this movie like early July. So when I was at the CMP national matches at Camp Perry in Ohio, my business partner's brother, every night that he is with us, we'd finish the night working, have dinner, go back to our Airbnb, and be like, all right, what do we want to put on to unwind? And every night he'd be like, K-Pop Demon Hunters. K-Pop Demon Hunters. Apparently his daughters were obsessed with it, and he said it was a great movie. I kind of dismissed it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then this past weekend, I was up in Bay City with Rachel's entire family, and my God, K-Pop Demon Hunters is like crack for children. It's absolutely ridiculous. They know all the words. They can't wait to watch it for like the 20th time. Like, kids are obsessed with this movie to the point that
Even the music, right?
oh yeah, we'll get to that. So Netflix was like, man, this shit's popping off. Let's release this in theaters. We'll do a sing-along version only for one weekend, and it did gangbusters. So I think by putting it in theaters, they basically said, you know what, this is probably going to win a few Academy Awards for Best Animated Picture, probably Best Movie Soundtrack, things like this. It hit number 1 on the Billboard charts, and that was the first time a girl group has done that since, I believe, Destiny's Child almost 20 years ago. And it's not even a real girl group because it's just a amalgamation of different K-pop stars from different groups that just came together for this soundtrack. So it's pretty interesting, the meteoric rise that this movie has seen. And one more tidbit that came out of this, a little bit of how this part of the film industry works. Netflix and Sony Pictures. So Sony Pictures is the one who created the IP, produced the movie. They don't have their own streaming service in the way that Paramount, Peacock, Netflix, HBO, all these other people do. So they entered into a deal with Netflix back in the COVID days that said Netflix would pay for the cost of production for a series of movies, and they'd also give them an additional $20 million per movie. So effectively, Netflix got K-Pop Demon Hunters, quite possibly the biggest hit of the year, for cost plus 20 mil, which is like, wow, that might be one of the greatest
surprise hit
of Sony Pictures.
You don't know. Like,
yeah, you don't.
We
you don't.
all looked at this and we went, it's some anime. It's not anime, by the way. It is very much here. It's not that anime style. It is more that Sony picture style.
It's it's a hybrid. There definitely is a lot of homages to
There are, but
manga,
it's
to those
more
that
on
type.
that American or
It's very
what
Americanized, yeah. It's
it
for
is very
American audiences,
Americanized.
but it
Yeah, yeah,
does definitely has international appeal.
yeah.
Um,
What's funny is that what was happening in July that now with this movie, was there other things that happened before then, before this released, or did it just have this slow roll and then all of a sudden it just blew up?
well, I think it kind of blew up right out of the gate, but I think the interesting part is the staying power that it has had.
Well,
Like,
it's only been these 2 weeks. These last 2 weeks have just been nuts, Eric.
yeah, but I think it's because obviously it blew up with the target audience, be it children ages 5 to 10. And now
My niece is over the world. This is her dream. It's like Wicked and anime and K-pop all came together, and
so
then,
I
like,
kid you not,
my
Rachel's
god.
brother started playing one of the songs on his phone, just the music, and her Rachel's like my 2-year-old niece just immediately hunkered down in front of the phone, even though there's no picture, just like she was getting ready to watch the music video, like a 2-year-old. Like, oh my god, this thing has its claws in the adolescent underage psyche.
But interesting too that, like, these have hit top charts, so it's not
Yeah,
even the
I mean, it's on the
adolescence.
radio. Rachel, even before she had even heard of K-pop Demon Hunters, was like, I hear there's this new song, Golden. It's pretty catchy. It was like, oh, honey.
That's
So
amazing, man.
we started watching it last weekend. We didn't get all the way through it. I think we'll finish it probably this weekend, maybe tonight. But it is just mind blowing how this is taken off.
So I've listened to very hardcore LA critical and reviewers who review everything that's happening in Hollywood, and they are some of the hardest core negative people I've ever heard. They're so critical, and I am surprised that they're like, no, man, this is like legit really fun to watch. Maybe not good, but fun. It is so fun to watch, and they're happy to watch the whole thing. That blew my mind.
You know what? I think part of it is it's it's not a rehash. It's some original content. It's a fresh take, and a grade A for originality. I think people are really enjoying that aspect.
I think people might be wanting more of that, but it's really hard. However, there are rumors going around that, like, studios are feeling the n- financial availability to start searching for new IP and new stuff. And that is something we haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, it always goes back and forth throughout the industry. We have a lot of cyclical periods where it's like, oh, back to the series and the threequels and the prequels and everything. But I think this is going to shake things up. And here's the thing: there's a lot of places that are incubating new talent, new IP, and one of the probably hottest jobs in Hollywood right now is being one of those new IP scouts and figuring out who's got the next breakthrough hit and how do you sign that. So stay tuned for what the next breakout hit is going to be. But in terms of predictive uh, headlines, Paramount Plus has signed a movie deal for Call of Duty.
Why? What is it going to be? Another, like, I don't like, there are, if they actually pull from, especially the Black Ops series, if they pull from almost point to point, yeah, that would be great. But other than that, like, I don't see, this is
It's
just
an
another
absolute cash grab.
It's
Here's the
just,
thing.
what
Paramount
the
Plus
fuck, man.
has like they signed a huge deal to get UFC on their platform. Like they're making money moves for sure to just basically make sure that they're not going to disappear into obsolescence. This is certainly one of the ways to do it, to attach yourself to the biggest video game IP in existence. Well, what's bigger, Call of Duty or World of Warcraft?
Call of Duty. Yeah, Call of Duty. Because you've got three studios
putting out
and
a game every year.
yeah, they rotate. And it was this year that it was the same studio back to back. That's never been done before in 7 years. 7 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got Black Ops 7 coming this year. I feel like I blinked and I missed like 5 of them. I honestly don't know. I thought like last time I looked, we were on 3. It's a little wild. But yeah, here's the thing. Like, there's nothing super intriguing about this. It's all it is you're attaching a movie to a well-known existing IP. Are they even going to use any of the storylines? Like, I feel like they're all over the place. There is some pretty good story.
That's what I'm saying. There are storylines that are amazing. I played a few of the COD storylines. They're really, really good. If they do a beat for beat or a whatever they can do with script and everything, if they do that, it would be a really good movie.
Well, here's the thing: the single-player games are pretty much movies to begin with.
I don't see them doing that. It's a movie. It's a war movie with Call of Duty. If it, God, no.
Well, it's a really big branding opportunity. You're going to have all sorts of crossover between the movie and the game for whichever year it comes out. And it's just, you won't be able to avoid it. It will be coming at you through all of the social channels.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cash grab.
Yeah. But, moving right along with all these phenomenal tangents, because I can't help myself. Gamescom, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 trailer dropped. And you know what? It looks pretty solid. It looks good.
Hey, side note, everybody, we talked about a supplemental. You're getting it right now. Life.
Yeah, you can take this Gamescom suppository and shove it right up, where.
It looks good. It looks, but like, again, I can't remember the studio, and this is their second time doing it. The last one was really good. This looks so much better. Their like idea of a storyline and what's going to happen, it's really great, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People typically don't necessarily buy Call of Duty for the single player campaigns. They typically get it for multiplayer. That being said, I think I like the idea that you can do either solo or 4-player co-op, up to 4 players. I think that's going to be really cool. Zombies mode is coming back.
Always. For God's sakes, please.
And I have no reason to think it won't be another solid title. My biggest complaint with these kinds of games, especially how there's a new one every year, and then you get onto the treadmill of the way these live service oriented offerings are, and it's like it's a second, third job just to like get some cosmetics, and I'm like I remember that back in the day you would pay for DLC.
Well,
and it'd be like
go
an extra
back to like your
$15,
Fortnites, and
now it's like,
Warcraft,
you want all
like,
this stuff that'll be $2,500, or you can sink 5 million hours into this game to make up for that. Like it's just
it's like, well, you don't have to pay for it, but
do you have a soul? Because we'll trade you for that.
Yeah. It goes back to like it's almost like the Candy Crush of the time period. And it's like, well, if you sink in 72 hours, you'll get this one thing. It's like, geez, OP. Yeah. But you can keep grinding. It's okay. I mean, here's the thing. Like, the older I get, the less time I have to play games. Like,
I might get to touch 5 games a year is what it feels like nowadays, and that's really, really sad. But I mean, that's just my personal conundrum.
It's
Like
interesting. I
I
was
did
just
it to
thinking about
myself.
that. Like, no, well, and even with me, like, and I don't think I'm far off, but I am far off in another realm. Like, I got Switch 2. I have Mario Kart. Uh, I don't have Bonanza yet. I can't afford it. Which sucks. Another life thing. Metroid Prime, I'm totally gonna get. The new 007 looks great. The
Dying Light,
Indiana Jones, yeah. First Light,
First Light, Dying Light,
First
First Light,
Light, First Light's coming out. Looks
Strobe Light.
great. Indiana Jones looks great for the port. What am I going to be able to play? So come next year, how many games did I play? How many games did I play on that console? I don't know. 2? And Dave's, Dave's Diver Dave. Shit, dude.
Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a challenge. Adulting's hard. Let's just call it what it is. But we can still fanboy over everything that was announced at Gamescom. I mean, there's new Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight.
That looks
really cool.
I will buy that because I know Katie will want to play it. She loves the Lego games. She played on the iPad mini, her iPhone. Like, it's crazy also that they do those kinds of ports, that they don't segregate it, they don't limit it to just one console, and they do a really, really good job. It's almost interesting. I might do a new research study on, like, people who do good ports, and Telltale does a really good job at, like, well, we'll just hit everything. And then they do a great job across the board.
Yeah, I mean they have their process down, like all the developer tools that they use to make these Lego games. Like they have it down pat. So it anytime they announce something, you're like, oh, yep, that'll be solid.
That new Batman looks great because I think it's a parody, like they've always done, and joking, like almost like your Monty Pythons or your Mel Brooks, and they're hitting all of the different movies from, like, Tim Burton to Christopher Nolan, and they're just going through the whole thing and just making, like, a full fun spectacle of the whole great great movie franchise, and then just doing this all in a fun video game form. I'm really excited, actually. This might be, like, I love Bonanza. I'm really excited. This
Yeah.
is the game I'm really excited for.
So I mean, we don't have a release date yet. We just know 2026 sometime. So it'll be a while, but it does look good. You mentioned the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So coming off the success of the previous game, which I still have yet to play, but really good things I've heard. The Outer Worlds 2, which is really probably the next big game from Xbox Studios. Which I think every time I see footage and like a clip from it, like I'm like my intrigue grows. Like
It
'cause
gets me really excited.
I'm a sucker for a good RPG, and this, like, the world building, the unique characters, all of that is just kind of it's an itch that I feel like I'm gonna have to scratch.
It's like the weird sandbox. Like, how can I grow in an individual way, but yet you figured out a way that I can do this in a game? It's not like your classic, like Mario, where you just go left or right. You have choices, and that still to this day just blows my mind. Like, I think Mass Effect was the biggest game to be able to give people of, like, your choices have a decision. It's like like those old games we had in elementary school or middle school where you flip to 347 to change the chapter. It's crazy and amazing in 2025. One of the hardest ways to make a game is to do this, and this game looks just amazing.
I think maybe we take a second, just use this as a jumping off point. to really dive into what happened. Like, I feel like we had a really awesome period where we had just incredible, massive RPG after RPG. I mean, we talked about Mass Effect, Dragon Age, like Oblivion, Elder Scrolls. Like, it just every year we were getting hit with just these epic RPGs, and then it feels like they've petered off significantly. Like, I feel like BioWare is like it's been gutted and sold for parts almost. Like I'm
Well,
surprised they
it's
haven't even shuttered
yeah.
the studio at
But
this
you talk
point.
I mean, that's it. It's like, is it like them being bought and then other superiors, other entities telling
What?
them where the focus, or is it also like, we've talked about too, like it's getting more expensive and more expensive, and Unreal is getting more expensive. But also, I have to admit, like at this point in time, Unreal is not becoming one of the best programs to use. There's too many bugs, there's too much going on because they're trying to front load the system to get it to a point. And it's getting even more, that time period is becoming longer and longer to get shit done.
So I think at this stage right now in 2025, it is for a lot of the big publishers, it's purely an economic decision at this point. The cost of producing a game has grown so much over the last 5 years, and the return on your investment is really right now weighted significantly towards your live service games, like your Dotas, your League of Legends, your anything where you can charge a subscription fee or have seasons where people pay, like Diablo for like every season it's like another 10-20 bucks, or even Hearthstone, it's like every
Well,
quarter there's another
yeah,
expansion.
yeah.
And
Fortnite, you have those loot boxes that are continuous.
yeah, and so like these epic RPGs, like they don't lend themselves to that monetization strategy. And so you're like, unless you are the creme de la creme, the top of the top, it's going to be difficult to get a publisher to give you $100 million to pump out this game. That being said, I think we might be coming into a new sort of renaissance when it comes to RPGs. You look at the success of games like Stardew Valley, created by a single guy, and yeah, it doesn't have the incredible rich 3D world because it's like a 2D isometric game, but it is deep. And I think a lot of the generative AI tools allowing you to create a lot more content, whether it be just voice actors, whether it be just dialogue, or even now we're getting to the area where you can just prompt an LLM and it'll generate a 3D object for you. Like we're getting into a point where a lot of these tools are going to be coming to game development. It's going to streamline and make things a lot faster so that smaller teams can build bigger worlds. And I think the really tip of the iceberg here was Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, because they said like they are a very, very small team by comparison that created a really polished product that has done really well. And so I think that is really where you kind of start to see the sea change.
I think too, there is, at least in the rumor mill, that they're looking at like, how can we pump games out? Like, okay, it's taking 5 to 10 years to develop a game. This is ridiculous. When we could, like, that's a full cycle almost for that console or for whatever. How can we, and they're going back, Xbox did it a while ago, indie games, and they did it and they showcased it and they did a really good job. But I think the other companies are looking at more poignant, like, no, how do we bring Hollow Knight and that type of thing out more often?
Yeah, how do you accelerate development? And it's really, at the end of the day, like if you're in the producer role, like you know how many bugs have been logged, how many you're getting through and resolving on a day-to-day basis when you're supposed to ship, what the marketing kind of rollout looks like. And at some point there's a go no go decision for releasing on a specific date. And yeah, producers want, or the production companies, the publishers, they want to shrink that as much as possible because that'll maximize their revenue. Yeah.
I mean, that's how Call of Duty, they hired 3 studios so that every year there's a new Call of Duty. Now, if you're a Call of Duty nerd, you know which studio is doing that, and it might not be your fave, but there's a Call of Duty, and it's still high quality every year.
And
That's a
then you have
lot of
Rockstar, which will make one game every console
that's
generation.
that's the catch. So, like, I was just thinking of the English company who did No Man's Sky, who's doing a new game, and it took them 5 years to really truly develop where No Man's Sky is now. Now, No Man's Sky is like one of the bar none top 10 games ever, but it released, and it still took them 5, honestly, 5 years to really get it to a point of like grandiose. Now they're developing a new game. That is not a company that like is going to develop a game every year. But there
So
are other companies like I said, Hollow Knight or other manufacturers, other producers, studios who can do 'cause a lot of the stuff that you've been showing off, a lot of like artistic, original. Yeah, most of it's side scrolling. If you don't like that, I'm really sorry. This might not be the podcast for you. But like these are really original games that are coming from people who are pouring heart and soul and probably more money than they are in there and going in debt. And these are going to be some maybe not great games, but they're going to be games that you need to like look for. You need to play. You need to try out. And I think at this point Xbox and Sony, Nintendo has been silent. However, again, there's rumors that like Nintendo's look, and they always have, but they're looking at those games as well to like, what are your next Hollow Knights, your next Shovel Knight, which Shovel Knight developers have a new game coming out, and we need to showcase that, because that's a big deal. Like your next. Oh, what was that? Oh, damn. Your roguelikes, your Dead Cells, like these are games that I think will actually keep this going until the next cycle, until these big games come out. But they need to really, it's also marketing. They need to promote this stuff. They need to get it out there. And if
well,
they
that's
can throw
difficult.
a few change to them, that will also help with that marketing cycle.
It feels like it's so busy. You know, the number of games, high quality games, had announcements or trailers at Gamescom was, I was floored watching the opening night kind of reveals. On top of everything we've already mentioned, we have a new Black Myth game coming out. We have Ghost of Yotai, which is a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil Requiem, Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 4, even new IPs like Project Spectrum, Zero Parades, Sekiro No Defeat. Like, there's just so much stuff is being announced, and it looks incredible. Like, how do you cut through the noise as a games marketing professional, as a publisher, to get your stuff out there in front of the right audience, to get people to like, buy, subscribes, and purchase? Like, it has never felt so congested as it does right now, I gotta say, in the games industry.
I'll add to that, and not only congested, but like we've seen for you and I, who have been watching this for God, 15 years, like how they got announced, but what is their timeline? What is their projected? What is their hopeful? And then what is their realistic? Because we've seen also from Gamescom, Games Award, and the E3 back in the day, rest in peace. We're still waiting for a Wolverine game. It's a much anticipated game.
Forgot
And
about that.
the trailer looked amazing marathon. There's rumors is still going on, and there are rumors that it's done. It got ixnayed because of allegedly art um stealing, maybe allegedly, or
Oh
art.
yeah, I was. Here's the thing: they were paying a contractor, and the contractor leveraged some stuff. I mean, it's not great, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, they'll fix it. They'll pull the art out. They'll replace it with other stuff. Like it's just a kind of egg on your face sort of thing, but it's not too serious.
These are big games. We all got excited about them. We
Yeah.
Marathon, we talked about it. That was one of our showcases. I watched it for 30 minutes after the podcast, being like, this is beautiful. It's gorgeous and it's so cool. Who knows? I don't know. Like, this is a very weird time period. And also, I mean, it's a mix. Like,
Oh yeah, it absolutely is.
you've got what's going on in financial administration stuff, but then also you're hearing from Hollywood that it's the first time in a very long time. So if somebody builds, writes a script, they wouldn't buy those because it's not something they created within their board and their studio and what they know is going to work, their algorithms. And it's been this year, which is the first year in 6 years, so COVID, that people are starting to be like, "Oh, you wrote a script? Oh, it's original. It's something we haven't thought of." And this is the first year that it's starting to pop off again. So those people who wrote scripts are starting to get money and starting to see a little bit of a bidding war between different studios. That hasn't happened in a long time. So it's a weird mix that I just do not absolutely understand, where we have huge delays and holdbacks in one area, and then we do see in the pop culture like a growth and a money. There's a investment. There's a not an investment. There's a savings account. We got some money. We can start doing some stuff. Or they're like, we need to start doing something new, and so they're taking a left turn. I don't know. Dude, this is the weirdest year ever, and we started this podcast during this time period.
Yeah. It's
Whoa,
here's the thing. It's like AI is just throwing wrenches left and right, and I feel like next year is going to be even weirder.
it is. You're right. That's another weird, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So oof, ugh, give me chills.
Say, like, before we end, like, we've talked about for a long time, like, AI will be a good thing. However, there is a plus and a minus to both. There's a white and a black. There are certain things that, like, AI will be able to do to then supplement other people. There will be other things where, like, AI can help you figure out stuff and create more or develop
Yeah.
more or learn more. So it's we talk about a wild wild west in the 80s of video games. We talk about a wild wild west in other time periods. This is another I have no idea.
This
YouTube.
is the wildest west, I would say.
Maybe. You might be right, bro. This might be the wildest of wild. Like, even YouTube just had a new fluctuation, and everybody's trying to scramble to figure it out right now. So yeah. Yeah, maybe, man. You might be right.
Um any other topics before we get on to the Apple predictions?
Any more? I really just one or two more things of Gamescom. Do you have any more things that you wanted to specifically talk about that you thought were interesting, unique, that other people might have missed?
I think I highlighted everything that I had on the top of my head. If there's something that comes to mind, by all means, call it out. Like there's just so much stuff.
Dude, or interrupt. I do it all the time. So what the
Yeah.
fuck?
I
Bull.
mean, I mean, real quick, I will give a shout out. There was, you know me, and like I like the idea of these cozy games. There's a game called Arcane Eats, which is like a crossover between like a cooking game and like just magic puzzle JRPG arcade stuff. So like, like I'm just
Who's the
it looks
studio? Who's making it?
no one I think I've ever heard of before.
Well, that's even better.
Sorry. Arcane Eats is a roguelike deck builder game where players take on the role of chefs in a magical culinary world, combining cooking mechanics with strategic card play.
So it's like board game meets video game meets what was that? Overcooked or whatever?
Yeah. Developed by Wonderbelly Games.
It sounds like a lot, but it sounds really fun. That would be, I'm telling you right now, I know that would be a board game in 3 years if it does well.
Yeah. I mean,
Because we already got an Overcooked board game, and it is just as bad as the video game. Not bad, like it's just as stressful, real time, and it sold gangbusters. So if then you add like a card element and like even a deck building or anything like that, like because people love that. Like I don't know why. Like I'm okay with it, but man, people love a way to like you can shuffle cards in and out of your deck to things that are going out in the environment or to other people, shuffle them to other people. People love that shit. Oh my god, dude.
yeah.
Next idea for our game. I'm not saying cutthroat or fuck yourself. I'm just saying shuffle.
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 Drafting is what some people would say.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk Apple because yeah, we're getting long. Not that long. So in case you've been hiding under a rock, Apple's announcement event for the new iPhone 17 and a bunch of other devices probably is happening on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, if I'm not mistaken.
That is September 9th. So we're recording this
9/9.
Sunday. 9/9. We're recording this Sunday the 7th. So we're
9/7.
only dude 9. I mean, yes, 9. I mean, but 9, not 9, but 9. 9 as 7, but not 9. 9 as 9. It's the other day.
Okay, you took that too far.
That was pretty good, actually. I was really impressed. So yeah, Sunday the 7th. There's some interesting shit.
Yeah, I mean, the obviously new iPhones because that happens every year like clockwork. A whole new backside, maybe an iPhone Air, so like a super slim iPhone version. That is that? I could be wrong.
New backside. What do you give the details on the new backside there, Prometheus?
So in case you were wondering, if you want to lift your rear end, you just put some Fix-A-Flat in there and just pump it up. Actually, that is a true story. A woman was arrested in Detroit for performing plastic surgery using Fix-A-Flat to increase the size of women's butts.
You fucking hate when I go off fucking script. This is your off script, so go fuck yourself.
Sorry. Too much of that watermelon martini. But yeah, so like the backside of the phone has been like this square thing with 3 kind of different lenses, and you look at what Google just did with the Pixel 10, and it's like this horizontal bar across the entire back of the phone. They separate out the LED light and the light sensor farther away from the actual kind of lenses themselves, and it looks like Apple will probably be following suit. At least that's what all the early leaks and the kind of early molds for the cases look like. But as far as monumental changes, I don't think there's really anything from a technological standpoint that's going to be earth-shattering aside from just a different layout.
No, I think right now they're going to add, which, Google, Android had that. Or I don't know if Google did, but other So manufacturers had a you can record front and rear at the same time. It's been a long time coming. A lot of
Wait,
people
you're
have
telling
asked
me
for
you
it.
can do it in the front and the back at the same time?
That's what she said. Thank you.
This might have to be an explicit episode.
So now your front camera, which will up from 12 to 24 megapixels, and all three back cameras will be 48 megapixels. They will now add a ability that you can record front and back. This has been something that honestly I've wanted when I've done all these interviews. If I could have four cameras, but if I could also have that one camera, actually three cameras. If I could have three cameras, but if I could have that one camera centered on the center of the table. Thank you. That could do a front and back. Me it just gives me more options. Like I've got a right rear and a left rear and then an overall. And then I would have this other one. Like, listen, it's about time. Okay. Like, it's about time. However, I am happy that they didn't release it without being able to give the audience and the consumers like legit specs. Like it's not going to be 1080p. It's going to be 4K. It's going to handle 60 frames per second. Like it's not going to be it's not going to be shit. It will be good. So the other people did put it out. Was it that good? No. Did they put it out 2 years ago? Yeah. So again, it goes back to that Apple model of if it's not good, we're not going to do it. So, okay, fine.
What else is coming?
Reverse wireless charging.
Ooh, I did see this. This is the one thing that I'm like kind of scratching my head. Why haven't we had this sooner? So we all are familiar with MagSafe now at this point, but the ability to charge your watch or your AirPods case by just slapping it on the back of your iPhone, that could become a reality. And you know what? As someone who used to travel a lot, not so much anymore, but the number of times I've forgotten a particular charger, holy crap, this would become in use. And like you just cut down the number of cables you need to bring with you by at least half.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
at
that's
least
just
half.
it's
Yeah.
just so nice. And now we're in this weird phase where some of my devices require a lightning connector and some of them require USB-C. And
I have one lightning left.
Rachel looks at me and
One.
goes, "What do I need to connect to charge this?" I go, "Not that. Not that. No, no, the other one,
Yep.
that." Yeah.
That's my wife's. My wife's is the only one I have that's lightning.
We got a ways to go still because we still
Oh, I
got
do have my AirPods.
AirPods
My AirPods, but
cases. Yeah.
the second gen was like a 2.5 gen.
I mean, I have stuff like
Is
this
like it
keyboard
was
that's gonna
lightning.
be using Lightning forever.
No, it's not. It came out 3 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna replace that keyboard for probably a decade.
No, I wouldn't either. If you got the
Yeah,
cable, like fuck it. You just
yeah,
need to charge it up, charge the battery up.
yeah. Every like once a month.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
still, I just want to. I have so many cables everywhere.
I do have
I
the
have
AirPod
boxes
2s.
and boxes of cables.
I have
It's
I'm
millennial
dude.
hoarding at this point.
It is. Do you remember when I moved back to
Oh, that's good.
Indiana from California, 2014, and you and I were still was the last segment. I did it longer of Minecraft, and I'm playing Minecraft, and I loved Minecraft, and then they said, "Hey, we're gonna do these great prints, like." 15 by 17, like crazy prints of like stuff that you would find in Minecraft. Bought it all. I bought it all. It's still upstairs. I love it. Has it been framed? No. Has it been framed 10 years? No. They also made a Minecraft chest. All of my electrical at this point, cables and all that dumb stuff, it's all in that chest. Just so my ADD
It's a
goes,
good use.
well, where is something? It's in that weird chest that you don't go into ever. Yeah. So lightning cables are now in there. Micro USB-C, it's in there. I got you, baby. You need something,
Yeah.
I'll mail it to you.
My mouse still uses micro USBs.
Ugh, my Logitech. Ugh,
And my USB-A cable for my Xbox gamepad.
ugh.
I
I
literally
could
have every possible connector and wire sitting on my desk because all of my devices require different things. It is maddening.
listen, folks, we could all upgrade, but that's some bougie shit. Because they all
That
upgraded, and all they did was they upgraded to USB-C. But it's the same thing.
and I don't have
Mm,
enough USB-C ports on my computer.
so then you need
It's
an adapter. Oh, your PC is so old school.
like one of these, a dongle.
I like dongles. Listen, dude, I like a dongle. Dude, I will dig a dongle every day. Nah, don't
Uh,
get me on dongles.
all right,
That's
let's
what
get
she
back on
said.
track. This is silly time right now.
Apple might, and I said it, Apple might, and this will be the big one that I want to see. Are they going to release a camera that is actually mechanical that moves up and down within its own phone for focus? It's been rumored. That is fucking nuts, dude.
That would be something.
That would understand this new like whatever bar on the top side, like along with the extra components that
Yeah, that
they're
would give
doing.
you more space for more
Movement.
mechanical
That's what she
pieces. Yeah,
said.
more back and forth.
That would be neat. Do I ever and here's the other thing. I'm in the minority. I use ultra wide because cinematic, full scope, all this stuff. Unfortunately, ultra wide is not one of those aspects that Apple focuses on. They focus on the normal and they focus on the telephoto. The 48 megapixel, side note, uh, not that great actually, but that's a side note. We'll talk about that later. Their telephoto, my wife loves doing like more animal, more. I mean, we're 8,000 feet up in the air, but yet there's something that's still 3 miles away.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like that is what she's looking for. She's looking for a lot more landscape and wildlife. This might be something that will she's on 2 years behind. This might be something that she would shift to. Not for me though.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't plan on upgrading. But here's the thing: we got to see what they come with. There have been rumblings that there might be some AI announcements. I mean, they kind of need to have something because AI or Google shots fired
That's
after
funny.
their make unveiling with the Pixel 10 and Pixel 10 Pro. Like
Mark
they
just
they are
did.
coming for the iPhone. They're like even their commercials, which I saw today while watching sports ball, like they literally are just taking shots at Apple left and right.
I don't remember
And
if I shared with you, like Bloomberg just shared some interesting, just detailed year to year, and yeah, they have a huge partnership with Google as far as even crafting their LLM. But their LLM looks like 2027. But in the meantime, it looks like iOS 26.4, which will be spring of next year. So, like March ish, we'll start seeing the ideas that they wanted, that internal, like, hey, I took a picture of so and so, and we'll start seeing that. I would like to retouch on this later because I feel like
we'll touch on it. We'll back to it after we have had a week to digest the announcement, and then we can comment on it.
yeah. But
Because right
like,
now it's all speculation.
yeah, I'm just saying that like I want to follow through with this. Like I want
Oh
to see
yeah,
what
we will.
happens.
Faux show. We'll probably get some new Apple Watches, Ultra 3, Apple Watch 11, higher
It'll
brightness.
it'll be an S11 chip, which is still the same grade of chip, just enhanced. So it's not like what we talked about in the last episode, where we went from 3 nanometer, nanometer, nanom,
Nanometer.
nanometer to 2 nanometer. An S11 is still a very kind of a low grade upgrade. And we've been in the tech industry, we've been looking for like a huge improvement. I don't know where this is not coming. We're doing iPhones and tablets and laptops, but we can't figure out what to do with a watch. This is such an incremental upgrade. The one thing they're doing is they're going to reduce the bezels on the Ultra 3 because the bezels were already huge. The phone's already huge. I own one. I love it so much. Here it is on the camera. It's fucking tank proof. God damn, this thing is tough, dude. They're gonna reduce the bezels to increase, size. It doesn't change the body of it at all. They're going to finally, and I say finally because it should have been added in the first one. Satellite and SOS was there, but now you're going to get satellite text messaging, and it might be even video and image messaging with the Ultra 3. The Ultra 3 was the Ultra in general, was supposed to be the phone. If you're out in the middle of God's country, which is where I try to be constantly, uh, you need something. You need some way to, contact. Garmin has been the go-to ultimate device in company. They're just they're fu- fuck. They're just amazing. Like I've debated getting a Solix for 5 years. They're amazing, and they're bio. Fuck it, 48 hours, 48 days. Like it's nuts. So Apple is starting to play into that area. Again, it's kind of interesting. Like, here's Android to iPhone. Here's Garmin to iWatch or Apple Watch. They did it. How is Apple going to do it better? Whatever. It's still fascinating as far as an Apple guy, and
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I think I've heard rumors too that we might be getting a blood oxygen sensor update because there's a big kerfluffle legally on
Yeah.
whether they stole
Yep.
some IP, so they might have sorted that out, and that might be coming to
They sorted that
iPhones.
out, but there are other health aspects that Apple really wants to attain, and those are still in the works. Um, so that's up to find out. Apple, I'm really impressed. Apple really pushes on these health, health, meh, 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 health
Yeah.
aspects. Um, Even with their new AirPod Pro 3s or 4, whatever they are now, the newest iteration, like they really want to push um the health aspect of it, of like what is the pressure, the blood, the stress levels. I really give them kudos. I think they're pushing the boundaries of that. And we'll see, I think, in September what happens. By the way, like in October, there's going to be another event. And then after that, it'll be March. It'll be the spring event. So I really, between Bloomberg and other leakers and people who are in the scene, we're gonna see this stuff, and we're not gonna see it too far off. I think Apple's in Tim, and I don't know why. As far as he's a franchise, like he's a really big production guy, but I think he's a really big health guy. And before he goes, I think he really wants these things to happen so that there's then maybe some marketing push of like, look at all the great things and we took care of you. So I think it's going to happen before this is 2025. By 2027, we're going to see these things big, the health part, especially.
Yeah. So which has me excited. Like that's one of the main reasons I have an Apple Watch and have these metrics and
Oh, that was
maybe
a question I had for you. So you have an Aura ring, but you have an Apple Watch. But doesn't the Apple Watch give you things that you need to know?
well, yeah, here's the thing. I
Or
don't want to wear a watch when I sleep. So the Aura ring is mostly for tracking nighttime behavior.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like I don't have a normal Apple Watch. I have a gigantor
Imagine sleeping
hiking.
with that thing, and
Yeah,
there's just the
I have.
potentially future 3,000 nits of brightness going off as you roll over in the middle of the night. That would, I'm sure Katie would not be happy about that.
Yeah, and it is bright. It is
Yeah,
magical bright, but also it is gigantic. It was made
yeah,
for me to go outdoors.
yeah. Anything else we want to cover before we wrap? I do want to call out kind of a different take on the indie spotlight this week. I don't have any games, but I do want to call out that a indie publisher, Digital Banditos, is hosting an indie fan fest on September 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern time. So stay tuned. There might be
Can I
some
give
indie
shout
news.
outs to even just the name? That's such a great name.
Digital Banditos.
Yeah, dude. That's
Yeah,
great. I
I
love
love the
it.
name. So they've published Soulstone Survivors, Town of Salem 2. So Town of Salem is like a werewolf style party game. But like obviously
I
based
do love
on
me some
witchcraft and
werewolf.
murder, mystery, and deception. So yeah, we'll see what happens then. Tons of stuff came out of Gamescom, like we touched on. We'll get back to showcasing indie games next week with episode 31.
I love you.
I love you too, and I love our audience. I just hope they would like, subscribe, and share. Share it wide. Share it with the world. What we do here. Yeah, I got creepy. All right, thank you for tuning in. This is episode 30 of the Geeqoid Podcast. Skadoodle to doodle.
I'm Jarrad.
And I'm Erik. And together we are Jarrad.
Aw.
End of transmission.